Hey YouTube, Muchismo Eugene, another video from Exit Strategy. Today's video, I'm going to talk about gratitude, and I've talked about gratitude before. I just want to re-emphasize the gratitude that, first of all, I have for, first of all, knowing what I know about life and the world around me in general. In general, I don't know all things. There's a lot to learn still, but just in this moment, I'm grateful and I have an immense amount of gratitude because I do a lot of reflection. I probably think a lot more than I should, but I'm pretty content with that. I'm a very strong thinker, and I think being that if you're an empath and you're a very strong thinker, that is why you arrived here in the survivor's corner. You're in the survivor's corner because you were a thinker and you are a thinker. You are a person that just don't settle for what is in front of you. There's always something more that deep inside of your heart yearns to know. You're very inquisitive. Whether you ask the person or you ask in outward, you're inquisitive inside of you. You're always wondering. If something just doesn't make an absolute sense, if it doesn't make absolute sense, you search, and you're always open eyes and open ears to something that may connect with that thing that you are questioning. It was no different with the narcissist. You began to court them, you began to interact with them, you began to befriend them, whatever the capacity you were in, whether it was romantic or whether it was just someone at the workplace. You were pretty much the best person that you could be to this individual. Because when we meet people, most of the time we are generally kind. With an empath and chosen ones, we're that way across the board unless you give us reason to act otherwise. When we're stressed, we act a little aggressive, we act a little standoffish, but we don't mean any harm towards anyone. So when you met the narcissist, you were very cordial, you were very forthcoming, and because you had gratitude within your heart, subconsciously saying, man, I'm grateful to have met someone like this. I'm grateful for the friendship with this coworker. They seem like they are an okay person. Do you know the gratitude that you had then, you must continue to have it now, because the gratitude you had then was what actually illuminated the narcissist in their phony, fake facade. Because it's like putting oil in water or water in oil. The oil won't mix with that water. It will come to the top. Doesn't matter how much oil you put in that water, it will not mix. It will not concentrate itself. It will sit in that water, it will sit on top of that water, but it will not mix. So that is how you are, the oil rising to the top. And not to compare narcissists to water, because water is first pure. Water is natural. Water is from the earth. So that's just an analogy. So the gratitude you had then is what spared you, and it is what saved you. It's what showed you what would have taken a long time for most people to have discovered. You didn't even do anything outside of your norm. You just were you. And because you are you and you were you, only a more genuine version of you, a better version, a real version of you. You're more of a real version of yourself than you were before. And because you were authentic and real and genuine, God Almighty had his hand on you. He had his hand in that situation. See, all things you go through in life are not meant to hurt you. See, what the narcissist meant for good, for evil, God used for good. And this is what the Bible says about people who speak evil against your good nature and do you wrong. All through the Bible, if you look in there, and just out of curiosity, don't take my word for it, that Bible has stories in it. And if you read it like a storybook, it will become real. It will become his story. His story, as God sees it. He's writing the book. We're just characters in it. Play your position. Continue to be grateful. Continue to wake up every single day with gratitude. Every day. Just start right there, man. And I guarantee you, good, bad, or indifferent, you will always see the light at the end of the tunnel. Because the gratitude is what makes you push. It is what propels you for the next page of the book. You won't just stop at that failure or that inconvenience or that setback. Although some of us, sometimes, if we allow the narcissist to get a chokehold on us with the despicable disrespect, calling you out of your name if you're a woman, he breaks you down, he talks down to you, he tells you no one else is going to want you. If you have gratitude, doesn't matter what he calls you, you're going to be able to bounce back. It may take some time, but if you don't lose sight of gratitude, because a narcissist is anything but grateful. They're savage. So gratitude is what saved us, in essence, from the narcissist. Don't stop being grateful. An ungrateful heart, God can't use. I could tell you stories after stories after stories of how God delivered me, and he set things in place. He put things that were out of line back in line, most of which I didn't even ask him for. See, I didn't focus on the problem. I just tried to stay steadfast and say, God, help me. I can't do this, man. I mean, everyone's against me. I have no one in support of what I'm doing. And I'm speaking specifically about custody court. That was a 6-year battle that I won't wish on anyone. If you think a narcissistic personality disorder relationship is bad, I have been dealing with some things that prepared me for the narcissist, which is why I came out of this situation in probably, I think it was 7 months, 9 months tops, not counting when I was, I don't know, courting her or dating her, if you want to call it that. From the time we got married to the time she bounced, it was April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December, January, February. Not 9-10 months. 10 months she was out of here. 10 months. And I've heard stories that are very disturbing, to say the least. And I'm saddened to hear some of you guys' story. And you guys that have these gory stories, listen to what I'm having to say right now. Why would you continue to give this individual another chance? They are an entity. You see them as a human being. You're looking at surface stuff. You're looking at them in a tangible way. You have to see what's behind them. Their motivations are not for you. And if you don't begin to understand that and detach from that, you'll start reneging on the gratitude that you have. And so the custody battle was really bad. I spent a lot of time alone, so that's why I don't mind spending time alone. Empaths don't. We don't care. Even when there's big crowds, we feel real awkward because it's just a bunch of noise. And people, you'll find in big crowds, people will stare and become fixated on you when you're just paying attention to what? Maybe a basketball game or a football game. Everything you say out of your mouth matters to them. Because guess what? Your verbiage and your algorithms, as I keep saying, your tone, your monotone, your vibrations, they sound so different to the point where it confuses them. It's like they've seen an alien. You are alien to them. Everything that makes sense in life, which is an empath and the chosen one, is nonsense to the average human being. They can't connect with that. Because what they're doing is mimicking and going along to get along with the crowd. You, from day one or shortly thereafter in your life, as you mature, you begin to set yourself apart. Subconsciously, you do this because you don't move that way. You're not built that way. That's the best way to say it. You're not built that way. And for all of you empaths and chosen one who feel needed to be needed, you need to be needed. You need to be at every party. You need to be at every shindig. You need to be with your clique. You need to be with these people that keep bombarding you with this pressure. See, when you're an adult, you still deal with peer pressure. It's not just adolescent. And that's what the narcissists will do. They will peer pressure the hell out of you. And the weaker your boundaries are, the weaker they become. As you get older, they just get more frail, like we do with age. As our body becomes frail, we become less apprehensive. We become less defiant. We become less standing your purpose. We become less of a person that can say no. But your gratitude is the bigger point. Keeping gratitude, you'll be able to see people around you that are very ungrateful, and it will pretty much turn your stomach. Not to be judgmental, but you would just really yearn to be in your own space. And you'll flock towards people who seem to be grateful, whether they say it or not. You'll begin to merge with people that are like-minded, because what Trap does is we started blending our good nature with corrupt nature people. And we didn't know how to abort mission. And this is the results of it. But God is merciful. He's graceful. And he said to them who give grace, grace shall be rewarded unto you. Paraphrasing. Grace shall be granted to you. So it was because of your grace that you administered to other people. You didn't choke the hell out of the damn narcissist. You didn't put them under the ground. You just let them go. That's gratitude there. But that guy, he returned grace to you. And God forbid, don't ever think malice against the narcissist. And I know we've had thoughts like that. I don't believe I've ever had a thought of, seeing anything detrimental happen to this narcissist or any of them. But at the same time, I'm not going to say I've thought good thoughts about them. And even to this day, I don't think harmonious thoughts about them. But I just pray God deal with them speedily. That's exactly what I pray. And he said, like David, you can pray for your enemies, that God would deal with them speedily. He prayed for the enemies that he had, that God would deal with them in his defense. See, some of these battles are bigger than us. I got a custody situation I had in times past, but soon I'll be doing a divorce proceeding. I don't know when. I really just don't have a date that I could give you, but I know the sooner the better. It's coming up to, she left in 2020, and this is almost 4 years. Actually, no, 2020, I kind of forget. I think it was 2021. No, it's 2020. It's been almost 4 years, man. Time has passed. And that's not a weight on my shoulder as it has been in times past, because I'm grateful. I'm going to allow God to do what God does best, deal with my enemies. But I pray I get past this divorce proceeding, because my life I don't even feel like completely is mine. Because God forbid something unforeseen happens to me. This person has pretty much she has a ton of rights in which she can determine what doctors can and can't do. That's an eerie feeling. But again, gratitude will get you over the hump. Gratitude will get you to the finish line. Gratitude, gratitude, gratitude. Gratitude, not attitude. Bless.